It's weather for Weather Geeks on Tuesday, December 23rd. If you're a celebrator of Festivus, happy Festivus to you. This will be the last weather for Weather Geeks this week, as I am off starting tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. What we have going on today is another pretty cloudy day, but it is mild outside. Check out these 1 o'clock hour temperatures. So we've reached 48 in Youngstown. It's 53 degrees over at the Akron-Fulton Airport, Akron-Canton Airport at 51. Upper 40s, lower 50s throughout the region. It's nice and mild. And after a damp start, it's not doing much outside right now. There can be a little mist or drizzle underneath the radar beam here, but the radar is really not showing much at all. They're in the mid-50s in Columbus and into Cincinnati this afternoon. The storm system that's going to start to impact our weather tomorrow, or I should say more so late tonight into tomorrow, is down here across the Gulf Coast region, where we have severe weather as a possibility. Tornado watch out. Parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, into Alabama as well. There's been a few warnings with some of these cells down here, or even a couple of tornado warnings. So December 23rd, we're talking about severe weather in the southeast. And yes, there is an outside chance that we get a thunderstorm around the Youngstown area tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. It's an outside chance, and we're not expecting any severe weather. But, you know, this is a pretty remarkable, unusual storm system that's going to bring up all sorts of unusual weather for Christmas Eve. It's going to be warm. We'll talk about those temperatures in just a second. Well, speaking of temperatures, let's take the, kind of an overview of the country this afternoon. It's a contrast situation we have going on. Oftentimes when there's a storm system, you have a good contrast on either side of it. We're in the 20s and 30s out in the plain states, but look at this tongue of warmth slipping up through the Tennessee Valley into the Ohio Valley. It's 63 degrees down in Charleston this afternoon in West Virginia. So where this battle zone sets up, sure enough, there is some precipitation, and there will continue to be some precipitation near and around this storm as we go into tonight, into tomorrow night, and then finally the air will get cold enough for snow flurries, we think, for Christmas Day across the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. Well, let's talk about the future then. I'll bring up our latest high-resolution NAM model, North American model, short-range model we use going out a couple of days usually. I'm going to show you the simulated radar product here, and we're going to start things off with late today. I'm going to fast forward to about 7 o'clock this evening. If you're out and about this evening, you are going to run into certainly a lot of clouds. The question is, do you need the wet weather gear that much? And I think the answer is yes, there's going to be a shower or two around, but we're not looking at any sort of deluge by any stretch of the imagination. This evening, here's the simulated radar at about 7 o'clock. Highest concentration of showers probably in southern Ohio at that point. Skip ahead then to tomorrow morning, Christmas Eve morning at 7 a.m. At this point, our storm system will really be starting to strengthen pretty rapidly as it comes north. And as the isobars load up here, we'll show you where the center of that low will be. It'll be kind of right over or just north of Nashville, kind of in through here, with a warm front up here like this. Notice there's a band of rain to our east at daybreak on Wednesday, and a band of precipitation, rain, snow mix, and snow off to the west. We're kind of in between, and I suspect we're going to spend a lot of Wednesday kind of in between these plumes of moisture. That's not to say it's going to be dry. I think there will be some showers around. But, this isn't going to be an all-day washout by any stretch of the imagination for Christmas Eve. So last-minute shoppers, anybody traveling, coming into town, if you're flying out of town, the weather locally not terrible at all tomorrow in terms of precipitation. I'm going to fast forward here to midday. Again, there's kind of a big hole right over us. Now, depending on how long this hole sticks around, and if some sun tries to manage to even come out, our record high tomorrow is 63. We might flirt with that if we get a little bit of sun trying to work into this dry slot. We're going to be in this dry slot for a chunk of the day tomorrow, and it's going to turn breezy. Not real windy just yet, but breezy. Tomorrow evening, a lot of people head out, Christmas Eve services and other activities, and so that's kind of an important time of day. This is the time of day. I'm gonna pause things here at about let's skip ahead to 5 p.m. right around sunset. This is the time of day with our cold front approaching from the west that we might have a little line of showers with embedded thunder and lightning. That's a possibility anyway. Let's wait for the data to load here. We'll see what the latest NAM model has to say about that. Certainly, it's still going to be warm outside all the way through the end of the daylight hours tomorrow. Here's that band I'm talking about at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, right here, right along the front. This might have some thunder and lightning with it as it goes through Columbus. And this is 5 p.m. Let's skip ahead a couple of hours then to 7 p.m. A lot of Christmas Eve services are around 7 o'clock in the evening. And we'll see where that line goes according to the NAM model, the North American model. This is a model again we only use in the short range. We often use, you hear me say the GFS or the European when we're talking about the longer range. 7 p.m. front rolling through the I-77 corridor with a line of showers, and again there might be some thunder and lightning with this tomorrow evening. Timing on this around our viewing area, around the WFMJ viewing area, probably 7, 8. Maybe 9 o'clock, something like that. I'm not guaranteeing thunder and lightning, but it's a possibility towards evening tomorrow. Zooming out a little bit, taking a look at the broader view, there's our strong low up around Detroit. This is snow up in northern Michigan. Quite a bit of it, actually. Some places might get a foot of fresh snow for Christmas up in northern parts of lower Michigan. Skipping ahead to Christmas morning for us, as we've been talking about, the cold air is going to wrap in. We're going to see air cold enough to support frozen precipitation, but it's going to be real light. This is Christmas morning at 7 a.m. Our front now well to our east out here. The wraparound moisture pushing through. This will be very light snow or just some flurries, I think. It's going to be windy. Here's our isobars packed close together. So plan on a windy Christmas morning. In fact, let's take a look at the sustained winds on the NAM model here. Christmas morning. These are not gusts. This will show the likely sustained winds. Darker blues here. Here's our legend over on the left. We're up in the 15 to 25 mile per hour range. I think there can be some gusts to 35, perhaps even 40 for a time Christmas morning. So it's going to be a blustery morning. The wind will relax later in the day, though. Here's the end of Christmas Day. As an area of high pressure quickly tries to nose in from the south, the wind's going to start to shut down, and center of that high by Christmas evening will be down here. That's going to give us a nice day coming up on Friday. Real quickly, in terms of temperatures tomorrow, here's what the NAM model has for high temperatures throughout the region. 61 down in New Philly. It has about 56 in Youngstown. Our current forecast has a high of 60 for Christmas Eve. I'm going to take a look at that over the next couple of hours, see if I need to change anything, but I think that's a reasonable place to be right now, within a degree or two of 60 tomorrow. And again, if we get some sun, that record of 63 could be in some jeopardy. So look out for that. Easy to pick out where our front is by mid-afternoon tomorrow. It's already crossed through western Ohio, but we'll be in the warm sector all throughout the daylight hours on Wednesday. All right, Friday's a nice day. If you're hitting the malls, doing some exchanging, using up those gift cards, it'll be a nice day. So we head into the weekend. This forecast remains pretty complicated. Might be a little weak front that comes through Saturday that gives us a rain or maybe a wet snow shower. The big question marks come Sunday and after. This is the GFS model giving us still a dry Sunday. Some of the other modeling suggests that especially late Sunday into Sunday night and Monday, there might be some snow somewhere in this general zone. It might be south of us. It might be over us. Boy, it's too early to really find much in the way of detail to hang our hat on because the modeling is all over the map. So stay tuned. Andrew, Jess, Mike, we're going to have you covered over the next several days. If this looks like it'll be a bona fide storm for us, I will check in on my days off as well, keep you up to date on what the end of the upcoming weekend might bring. But we're pretty confident that whatever happens late in the weekend, early next week, whether there's snow or not, it's going to be cold next week. The year is going to end on a cold note, and 2015 is going to start on a cold note. This is the 7 to 14 day temperature anomaly outlook. In other words, difference from average. Lots of greens on here, and that means we might be 3, 4, 5 below average during that 7 to 14 day period. I think we can expect at least a few days with highs no warmer than the lower or middle 20s around New Year's. There could be some nights with lows in the single digits and teens. We haven't seen that kind of weather in a while. It's been a pretty mild and snow-free December. That'll do it for Weather Geeks on this Tuesday. Again, I am off tomorrow through the weekend. I hope you have a great Christmas. Thank you so much for supporting these videos, supporting me on social media, and everything that I try to do. I look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll ring out 2014 and ring in the new year together. I'll be working all of next week. In the meantime, have a safe Christmas, a merry one, and I will see you on Monday.